Okay, cool. This will be like, I'm thinking this will be like the title card. Like, I'll like. I don't know. I wanted to make this little Guitar Center haul video to kind of start off my channel here, and do an intro and maybe like a motivational message as to why you should chase your dreams with music too, like I'm doing. Yay, jazz hands. But yeah. So I have my stuff. Basically, I spent way too much money at Guitar Center, and I got a new amp, I got some guitar accessories, and I want to do like unboxings and stuff because I always love those on YouTube. I always loved watching those. This is my guitar. She is an LTD. What else? ESP LTD F50. I got her from my old music teacher actually. So I really like this guitar, but I've been finding that I've been playing out of tune lately, and I'm like, I actually genuinely don't know what the problem is. Maybe I just suck at playing because I've only been playing since like October of last year, so maybe like 4 or 5 months so far. But I wanted to suck less maybe, and so I got some gear and equipment. I think we'll start off with the amp. I was previously using this baby amp from my guitar teacher, actually. I need to give this back, but there the battery is taped in the bag so that she doesn't fall out, and Lion, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty basic battery powered amp. The main thing here is that it doesn't have like all the settings that I want naturally because it is so simple. And I was thinking about doing like a little sound demo too to like compare. Oh wait, maybe I should do that. Wait, no. Okay, I'll do sound demo after. But here is baby amp that we're gonna be switching out. And I did some research on TikTok. I was so thorough about it. But I did some research. I found that the Boss Katana was a good amp, and this mini one is so that I can honestly take it with me as much as possible. I really like music with electric guitar, and the more that I invest myself with electric guitar, I'm like, oh damn, maybe I should have just done acoustic guitar to start, because yes, it is harder, but I have an acoustic at home that I was playing with and like figuring out, and I was like, yeah, it's not that much harder. I just need to press harder maybe. And acoustic, right? Like with acoustic, I think about, there was like this book that I read about a music journalist. He released it on Taylor Swift and her career up until this point. And one of like the earlier chapters is that she was gifted an acoustic guitar by her parents, but she was the one who like sought out acoustic because it was the path of least resistance for her to start writing songs and making music. So for her, that was like her kind of like gateway of like, okay, like getting an acoustic, that means I can just show up somewhere and play. And part of me is like, sure, regretting, but at the same time I know that like my end goal and vision with music is with electric guitar. I love electric guitar music. I'm mostly like a rock, pop rock, punk rock kind of person. Lots of Riot Girl, love Riot Girl. And yeah, it's kind of hard to like play low-key, but I've been trying to learn guitar to get to that point where it's like, okay, now I can make that kind of music because that's the music that I like. This is her. This is the Boss Katana Mini. Oh wait, I did her backwards. This is her. Yay. I think Low-Key Guitar Center gave me like a used. I think they low-key gave me a used one, or like it already opened one, but whatever. If I don't love it, I can do something about that, can't I? So this is her. She's so cute, actually. And she's lighter than this one, which is actually kind of funny. Like, this one is so heavy. But, okay, cute. And she has a lot more knobs, too, which we'll play around with. I'll set her here. And maybe now we'll do, like, the sound demo. My cable is a nightmare mess. Nightmare. I used to have a Focusrite. Focusrite Scarlett. But I used to have one of those because I was more into MIDI music. And I wanted to not make beats, but it's like I wanted to use GarageBand and like Ableton and all that kind of stuff. And then now I just feel like when you kind of invest yourself into one realm of music, like you just like go into the universe of its instruments and products and accessories. And like if I were to transition from acoustic guitar or maybe like to like piano, like I just know it's just gonna be a whole other laundry list of products and purchases. What am I doing here? So this is my guitar teacher's baby amp. Let me make sure that everything is correct. This is the setting that I typically have it on. That's the clean one. All right. I should not be playing the E string on the. So I can only play open chords too. And then this is like the distorted sound that I typically go for, that I like. It's not bad, but I just noticed that like if like in covers that I'll practice from time to time, I'm like hearing the guitar, I feel like something's not right, or I'll listen back and like I feel like something's not right, and at that point you just kind of have to like adjust and figure out what's going on. Also, kind of a problem that I'll need to diagnose and fix. These two strings, at least in my opinion, I feel like these two strings ring out. Oh, it's not doing it now, but like buzzy a little. And I've noticed it on like my guitar so far, like while playing it. I'll do it on the clean mode. So I'll need to take it back and figure out what's wrong with that. Cause I, you know, like all problems, I looked it up on Reddit, and Reddit said that it wasn't normal, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll figure that out. So love you. We will be switching you out though. And this is the Boss Katana Mini. Isn't this cute? This like little, yeah. Anyway. And what's cool too, I hope I don't have to like plug her in right now because she is supposed to have like a built-in chargeable battery, and I didn't charge it for a very long time, so we'll see how long. Yeah, oh, okay, Slide, she's on. I will like do a test just for the video, but of course like I'm not playing this for hours and hours. It's so cool getting new equipment. It's just like, oh, it's so fresh and it smells new. With this one, dude, I don't even know what to do with the equalizer. All I've done so far is like I've turned the volume up, of course. And let me do, so I need to figure out what gain is because it also like increases the volume or the intensity of the guitar. And then another cool feature with the gain, because like on the previous amp it was like gain and distortion, or let me be accurate about this, gain and tone. So those were the previous settings on this one, and then with this amp it has like gain on different variations. So it'll have clean, crunch, and brown. And amazingly, brown is the one that I want for some punk rock sounding stuff. I always feel like it's gonna be so loud. I'm learning power chords. I'm not great at them yet, but I'm an open learner. So this is Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo, and that's amazing. What other power chord can I play? So that sounds pretty cool, and I feel like that sound is better than that amp. But like when I first played it through, it feels like better. I don't know. So that's that playthrough, test through. Now on to more accessories things. And more talk about why I'm even doing this in the first place and who the frick am I? My name is Joyce. I have always been involved with music, actually. I was like in church choir, and then we did like kind of like musicals-ish, church god musicals kind of things. And then that morphed into being more involved with like choir and school and stuff. And then when I got to high school, I was a huge band kid. Like, I did marching band for like all 4 years of high school until like I literally hated it. And then my final semester of high school, I literally quit to do theater and do Romeo and Juliet. And there's like always been a part of me where like my heart has longed for the theater. But like when I went to college, I, for some reason, started it in a musical theater degree. And I did that enough until I hated it. And then I actually had to transfer schools because of COVID and all that amazing stuff. And I finished my degree in music. And that was just at some regular schmegular state school with whatever program they had. And honestly, I really liked the music program, like in the sense of like learning music theory and like music history. Like I had like this LGBTQ music course that I took, and like I swear to God, that was my favorite class of like my entire educational career, because it was just like music that I cared about and that I listened to, and then I would learn like why it was actually important in pop culture and relevant to till today. I'm like, oh my God, like the impact. I actually did like my final essay for that, like a 10-page paper on Riot Girl and one of my favorite bands, Destroy Boys. And it was one of those classes where it's like it melded together my personal interests and also things that I didn't know. So great time. And I think my philosophy when approaching like school and like figuring out what I wanted to do for my career and all that stuff. Like right now I work in marketing, but it's adjacent to topics that I have interest and passion in, because there was a moment in time where I was very much into like social media, content creation, and I still am. And that's kind of where I like diverted my career path and what I work in now, I guess. But from that, like I always wanted to pursue something. Like I always felt like it made sense to me to put in time into something that I cared about, because I didn't feel like there was a part of my college career where I was like, should I do something more serious? Like, should I do nursing? Should I do something like kinesiology and try to study to be a physical therapist and like do like these more like STEM-y fields that felt more safe and concrete and just made more sense? But I did have passion for kinesiology and like the human body and all that. But it was like I could never be a nurse because it's not something I'm passionate about. And right now, where I'm at with my life, as I unbox one of the accessories, I bought a tuner. I need to talk about this too, and as to why I bought it. But with right now, with where I'm at with my life, I feel good with what I'm doing for work, which is important, because it's like you need to, as an artist, sometimes you need to get to a point where you feel that stability, or you feel that kind of secureness enough in what you've built up for yourself, and then you can finally go into like the things that you're wanting to have been doing all along. And that's where I'm at right now. And the reason why I'm taking more action with music lately is because I finally gotten sick and tired of telling myself that I can't do this, I finally gotten to a point where I'm like, I've had enough with like all the negative self-talk throughout the years and comparisons, and maybe it's because my prefrontal cortex is like evolving, because I'm turning 25 this year, but it's like I've been in this comparison survival mode state for pretty much my entire life, especially when it came to things creative that I loved. Like when I was in marching band, I was constantly comparing myself. When I was in choir, constantly comparing myself, and affirming reasons as to why I could not be the person that I wanted to be or do the things that I wanted to do, because other people were better at them than I was. And I saw that vision in them. Like I could see them pursuing my dreams, but I couldn't see me pursuing my dreams. And over time, it just kind of got to be repetitive and annoying. And I've also gotten into some personal growth, self-help things too, which have definitely helped. But another big factor into this is honestly being more involved with DIY music in my like, for my college town, for my hometown. The fact of going to these like backyard shows or just like DIY venue shows and having literally anybody go up on stage, play whatever, literally scream into the mic, it's still art, it's still performance. And I'm in the crowd, I'm the music student in the crowd looking at what they're doing, and I'm not doing that damn thing. And that was a huge wake-up call for me, because these are just normal people. Like, these are normal people working minimum wage jobs or having their own careers, or, you know, just maybe they're students too, but they're like people like you and I who also maybe just finally had enough and said, you know, I'm doing it, or have gotten to a point in their lives where the only way that felt appropriate for them to express these emotions and express themselves in this kind of way is through music, is through that artistic medium. And that like brings me to my other point, but I'm going to go off topic and talk about the tuner because I've been getting comments that my guitar is out of tune, so I'm like, okay, let's fix that. I've been tuning with my phone, and my brother has this exact tuner. It's the, not sponsored, but D'Addario tuner. And yeah, no, I liked how his worked, and I was specifically looking for this one too, even though it costs like fucking $30, but you know what? If my guitar was already in tune, so maybe I don't need this, but if it gives me peace of mind, sure, why not? So there's this guy, and I think it's also helpful for when I'm using my phone for something else and I don't have access to like my phone's app tuner or something, so it might prove useful. And then another thing that I got was something that my guitar teacher had that he was like kind of raving about. It is the all-in-one string fuel cleaner and lubricant. Yay! But I love this description. It's just ergonomic, no mess applicator impregnated with string fuel solution. Yeah. But it smells so good. It smells like a mix of, I'm gonna need to smell it again. I don't know what to tell you. But I think from what I remember, it smells like bubblegum. And I love the smell of bubblegum. Yeah, it just smells like sweet. It smells like fruity and sweet. And that's like, oh, orange. But I know orange doesn't smell like, you get what I mean. It kind of smells orangey. I think it's honestly maybe that like wood polisher thing that they use. I wouldn't doubt it. I also need to change the strings of this. Oh my goodness. Maybe that's a different video. And then my last accessory, just to like get the accessories out of the way, I got I don't need that. I got an instrument strap because I want to look cool. But I've been playing mostly like sitting down, like this, and honestly this strap isn't the greatest thing because it's just a seatbelt like kind of material. I was looking at the other ones that they had, and they had like more padding and stuff, and I was like, oh, I realize why they have that now. But I've only been playing sitting down, and I feel like rock stars play standing up. So, you know, we're committing to being a rock star here. Like, we needed a guitar strap. So that's my haul, yay! But I'm gonna talk more about that other point that I was talking about, which was these artists, these people that are actually doing the damn thing, how they've kind of gotten to a point in their lives where I noticed that like there is a specific allowance or permission that we give ourselves when we express ourselves artistically, that we don't give ourselves in our normal persona. We're able to take maybe like an alter ego or just talk about themes and emotions and topics that are a little deeper, yes, but like, you know, you naturally I feel like take love songs, like if we all talked like how we talked in love songs, I think like everyone would be sounding like Romeo and Juliet, which I have no problem with. But I think also there's this kind of emotional sterilization that we front with just to get through our days, because too much emotion can be overwhelming. But that is another reason I realized, seeing these other performers, my peers, and realizing like how do they get to that point. And then for me, I just felt like from my college years, or I mean naturally, like from the beginning of time in my life to now, I feel like I've experienced so much. And when when you get to a point where you're secure enough and you feel comfy enough to kind of sit back and reflect, I point this out because it's a lot different from when you're operating in survival mode and you're just trying to get by day to day. You're trying to do the next thing that you need to. I identify a kind of survival mode when it came to being in school, like being in high school and college, and just being with the same people every single day, kind of having to get by. Like, while it was nice, I really enjoyed my school experience, but you don't want to do anything too cringe that would get you ridiculed. You don't want to do anything you don't want to experience that. You don't want to be an outcast. And I think in high school, in school environments, it's just the feeling, the emotion, and the action is amplified times 10, because that is your entire world. And then once you honestly get into college, and then when you get into the real world, or just, you know, maybe you travel a little, or you move out of your hometown, or once you gather these different experiences in your life, you realize, okay, great, my life is not my hometown. My life is not my high school friends. And that is liberating, because then you can step back and you can reflect on what you had gone through, because you're safe. You're kind of out of that environment. You're not relying entirely on that environment anymore. And for me, I had realized I'd gone through a lot, and I didn't need to shove those emotions down anymore and like repress like all the good and the bad that had happened, because I can't be too happy about this thing and seem vain and seem prideful, and I can't be too sad about something and seem depressed and, you know, like helpless. And naturally, you know, we all have diaries. But I think there is an avenue of self-expression that feels so incredibly liberating. And what is the word? Like, it's like rejuvenating, or it's like kind of it's greatly beneficial to take ownership in your own voice, to say something, to stand by it, and put effort behind what you're putting out into the world. I find that my worst days are sometimes the days when I feel like I have no intention going forward. Like, I don't know what I'm working towards. Like, I'm kind of in a haze. I'm in a rut. I don't know, like, I have no momentum, no energetic momentum to fuel my actions, so I'm in a lull. Whereas when you do pick up a kind of crazy, cool, creative project, and this could literally be anything. It doesn't need to be music. It could be whatever your dream is. If you want to be a video game streamer, or if you want to write a book, or if you want to post poetry online, or if you want to arrange flower bouquets. I mean, there are an endless array of options to choose from that all encourage the same purpose of self-expression. And for me right now, I'm recognizing, okay, and honestly right now, like in this point of the video, I honestly don't know what I'm saying. So maybe if whatever comes out next is bullshit, take it with a grain of salt. But I want to know myself better. And in the past, I've operated from a sense of self that I felt other people knew me as. Wait, actually, this is kind of philosophical. Yes. I felt like I was like, I'm Joyce, and I am, you know, this bubbly, happy-go-lucky girl that, you know, is great to be around, I guess, is funny sometimes, you know, I'm a good friend, you know. These are all positive labels, but they can be limiting to tie yourself down. And it can be whatever label, right? Like, these are from maybe acquaintances that I have and good friends that I have, and on the flip side, there are other labels that I've attracted from my mom or teachers or whoever. And I think about them because it's like, okay, now I want to be more punk rock, genuinely. And how do I do that if I'm Joyce, the happy-go-lucky person? Because within me, there is a lot of rage. But people wouldn't necessarily know that until you speak on it and stand on that topic or on that concept of yourself. And ultimately, it's in your power, it's in your control to do that. Even though it is kind of like terrifying, not gonna lie. But I feel like that's a good way to end the video. I honestly wanted to talk more about, like, I think this is a good intro so far. I wanted to do the unboxing, which has happened here. I want to talk more about myself. And then I also wanted to open conversation and dialogue and maybe a thought process for you, where it's like, where are you at in your creative journeys, and how can you step more into who you are as a person instead of the person other people are expecting you to be. That's the experiment that I'm toying with here right now. And even through filming this video, you know, I literally had nothing on this shelf until this video. I was like, oh shit, I need to make like some kind of cohesive environment for this video to make sense or be like presentable. And that's the energy that has been put into this. It's all kind of a benefit. I cleaned my space. I put books on the bookshelf that had been in boxes from when I moved in, and I'm posting this online to hopefully reach more people that think like me, to honestly put my drop of thought knowledge out in the internet ocean, and get more started on this journey. So yeah, I hope you liked this. This was fun. Have a good one. Bye.